Once we have turned our division problem and used the multiplicative inverse to make it a it is a fraction problem, to make it a multiplication problem, there are some things we can do to make our lives easier. You can reduce a problem ahead of time and make your life easier. So let's look at it without reducing it. So just go ahead and watch what I'm doing. So I'm going to do 3 times 7. Okay, well, that's not too bad. That's 21. I personally do not know 914 off the top of my head, so now I am having to do this extra step, this extra work. There's 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh my goodness, 21, 126. And now I have to simplify that and find a number that goes into both of those. And that was a lot of extra work, right? Yuck. That is gross. We do not want to do this. Yuck. Let's look at this now. We have 3/14 times 7/9. So this, once it's in a multiplication problem, we can use this strategy. So I'm going to crisscross here 3 and 9. And I'm going to think of what can 3 and 9 both be divided by. 3 is a factor of both of them. 3 can go into 3 and 9. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 9 divided by 3 is 3. And I'm going to look this way. And I'm going to say, what can 14 and 7 be divided by? 14 and 7 can be divided by 7. 7 goes into both 7 and 14. 7 divided by 7 is 1. 14 divided by 7 is 2. I have a new problem now. 1 times 1 is 1. 2 times 3 is 6. This 21 and 126 will simplify to 1/6. This was much easier to do 2 times 3 than 14 times 9 and try to figure out what goes into 21 and 126. It's called cross simplifying, cross reducing. We crisscross, what can go in here? Crisscross, what can go in here? We want to make these numbers smaller and simplify them. So one thing, let's take a look, right? If I have 5/8 and it is times by 3/10. So I'm going to crisscross 5 and 10, what can be divided? 5 and 10, what can they both be divided by? 5. 5 divided by 5 is 1. 10 divided by 5 is 2. If I crisscross this way, I'm thinking of a number that 8 and 3 can be divided by. 3, 6, 9. Oh, 3 cannot go into 9. There is not a number that goes into both of these. It's 1. 1 is the only thing that goes into 3 and 8. Its greatest common factor is 1. So 3 divided by 1 is still 3. 8 divided by 1 is still 8. But I still made my problem easier. 1 times 3 is 3. 8 times 2 is 16. And because I already looked at it ahead of time, it's simplified to 3/16. I don't have to keep trying to find other things that go into them. So make sure that you are cross reducing. So crisscross, what can these be divided by? Crisscross, what can these be divided by? And then we just multiply the numerators, multiply the denominators. I promise you will be so glad that you did this, because then we don't have to do yucky problems like what goes into 21 and 126. So cross reduce before you multiply.